Welcome to Object-Oriented Programming course in C++. In this course, you'll learn how to write clean code, efficient and powerful codes using the same concept that power real-world business system. So, we will have 4 modules. The module 1, we will give an introduction to object-oriented programming by asking the following question: what is object-oriented programming? Why is it used? And what are the pillars of object-oriented programming? So in computer science, we work with data. And object-oriented programming is just a way, an approach to work with the data in a different way. Object-oriented programming, or OOP, is a way of writing code that models real-world things, people, companies, accounts, and everything in between. Just like in a company where each employee has a name, a role, and responsibilities, in object-oriented programming, we represent each thing with a class, and we give it properties and actions. Well, when we work with object-oriented programming concepts, we have the data. This form of data is monolithic. So all the code is written in one block. So a such code is very difficult to manage, to make change. By applying object-oriented programming concepts, so the data we are working on will be splitted in different sections based on rules and actions. So if we apply object-oriented programming concept in this kind of data, one block, monolithic is how it is called in computer science, we will have like a section 1, a section 2, a section 3. So section 1, section 2, section 3 is just a name that I gave, but in OOP we called it class. So our data is one block, and we split it in 3 sections, what we call classes. So when we have 3 sections, it's very good form of code, and such code will be easy to manage, easy to contain, because here we know that the code has three sections: section 1, section 2, section 3. Then we can easily manage it. Let's take an example. Let's think of a company. In a company is just a block, what we see outside. But we can divide a company as such. We have employees, you have customers, and we have product. So if we want to write a code or a project to mimic a company, we can't do that in one block. It's not possible. Then what we do, we divide it, we split it. So in the company, we have employees, customer, products. So in object-oriented programming, a such approach would be called what? We will have a class called employees, a class called customer, a class called product. So then object-oriented programming has pillars. Pillars as the foundation of object-oriented programming. What are those concepts? The first pillar of object-oriented programming is called encapsulation. And we said, as we see here, we have a company. We split it in 3 different components: employees, customer, and product. Employees is a class, and employees has this own data. It can be an employee as a name, as an ID, as a salary. So by applying encapsulation, the data which is in the class called employee will be secured. So encapsulation simply is a practice of security. We have abstraction. Abstraction is what we said. Instead of having one component, we will split it out having three components. This is abstraction. We can call it also separation of concerns. Then you have inheritance. Inheritance is just an applications by which different classes can have a relationship. Let's say you have a parent and you have child, what is called the real classes.